Hey guys, what's going on? Every day I say we got a sick video for you, but we got another sick video for you. And it's not because I did well, it's because there's going to be a lot of lessons in here. A lot of useful lessons for both you and me. And there's stuff that I have to work on still, even though I did well. And I'm actually happy about today because it wasn't as much luck as it was playing my plan, and then the small fraction that I gave back, I think maybe $300 or so, is smaller than it should have been, or smaller than it usually is, because usually I end up losing more profits, and then I had the discipline to just stop, and that's what's going to matter in the long run, is noticing when you're getting a little out of hand. Like I took a kind of a freak show loss here on IMFK, and I didn't try to add. I didn't try to, I didn't get greedy out of it. I just waited for a tiny pop, and I sold the whole thing. It was only 1,000 shares, but I lost 33 cents or so, 32 cents, and that was that. I didn't try to re-tackle it anywhere. I just said, okay, I screwed up. I took a trade that I shouldn't have taken. So my rules are starting to slip because I've made so much money already. So this is my clue to slow down, and that's good. That's how it should be, I still make mistakes, and I'm just trying to make less mistakes and less costly mistakes. So first off, again, thank you guys so much for hitting that sub button. We blasted through 1,300, and now we're trying to get to 1,500. So you know what to do. Hit that button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into the trades. So the first thing that I traded here was PRVB. Now, the first trade I took on it was a loss. I took my usual setup, buy in at a $0.50 at the support here, and as my loss was coming towards $100, I started to sell, and then eventually I ended up selling for a $118 loss. That was good. I'm trying to reel in my losses and sell when I should. So I try to sell at around $100 risk per trade. That's just my 1R, my risk. And I kept it there, and that's good. So then the next trade here, NBY, I take the exact same type of trade that I would always take. The support line that I have drawn here is from the daily. There's nothing else there except for this and this. So 105 and 122. Those are the levels that I'm going to play. So I buy in here. I bought in earlier. But I bought in here 1,500 shares at 105 because that's my level. This is my play, so I went full size, and I wasn't selling up here at 120 because that's not my level. And I don't think, in retrospect or hindsight, whatever, that I should have sold in here because there's no level there. There's no reason to sell in there, so I didn't. Do I sell yet? Yeah, so I had a stop in. I let the stop run a little bit, like I moved it down just a tiny bit because I didn't want it at break even right here because this is support, and I didn't want it to then reverse and have to chase it or just get stopped out at the wrong spot because that would have been considered a bad trade. So I lowered it. I lowered it to like $70 worth of risk. Yeah, $70. So I'm all out there. Now my plan is invalidated. We're under this, and it keeps dropping. So that was a pretty good stop out point. Because I didn't want to stop out right here. Maybe 104 would have been better instead of whatever it was, 101. I would have saved $40. There is where I could have improved on that. I start to take the futures. I start taking a short position into a level. I waited for my level. This is a level also on the MES. It was a double top. So I just waited. I said, okay, I'm at my max loss here per trade. So I'm just going to put my stop in. And let's fast forward. I get stopped out of it eventually. I don't know where I get stopped out of it. I might have been looking at something else because I just put in my stop and I said, okay, that's that. And then I went back to look at some other stocks. So we'll go over the MES chart after because I did stop out of it while I was in something else. So back to NBY. I get stopped out. I let it reclaim. I let it reclaim VWAP. I let it surge. And then I let it come back down into the pivot point. Rates at 110. And I didn't quite get 110. I wanted to get 110, but I only got 113. So again, I'm in 1,000 shares. Not full size yet because this isn't good enough confirmation for me. This isn't my A+ setup yet. So what I do is I'm just waiting. I'm not selling anywhere in here. It comes down to 105. My plan was wrong. So I sold again. And I lost, what, another 100? Just over $100 on that? Completely fine. That is completely fine. I'm keeping my losses as big as they should be. But again, maybe I should have had my stop rate here. Under 110. That could be room for improvement. And what happened next? So PRVB was the one that decided to go crazy instead. So this is where I think a lot of you guys will learn from some scalping. This will be the main focus of the video. So let's watch what happens here. It unhalts. Let's watch this action around $12. So it comes up to 12. We're getting massive buying. 3,000 shares, 4,000, 9,000, 7,000, 1,000. There's hundreds in here. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So I buy in for 1,000 shares knowing this is going to be a scalp. And look at this. There's massive just massive buying. The tape was going crazy. This buyer is already getting eaten up. And my plan, see like how the bid has raised now to $11.99 and before it was lower in the 90s. So my plan was to sell as it busted through $12. Bigger size because of the smaller hold time. Right? I wouldn't be buying 1,000 shares in here because of the swings. This was supposed to be a quick scalp in and then out. So we'll play it. It busts through. I put my shares up 30 cents higher or 26 cents higher and I get filled and then I'm all out. So let's watch that again live. It unhalts at some point. I see a big seller here. I buy in as he's getting bought out and then I'm already out. I sold as it busts through. And that was that trade. That's why that trade was a shorter trade. It was a scalp. And then you can see here, so now I'm using the $12 level and this kind of halt level. And I'm trying to get in right here now with only 200 shares because this isn't a scalp. This is more of a longer hold. And you can see what happens here because if I'm holding 1,000 shares right here, this could just dump to like $11.50. And that means I'm down $400. I don't want to do that. So I really don't want to do that. So we shoot through 12 bucks. My plan is starting to work out. And now I'm saying I do not want to sell early. I don't want to sell early. So I'm putting out orders above 12.50, which is closer to 12.90. There was a kind of a pre-market pivot in that area. So I said that's where I want to start selling. So I put 100 shares out right there. I actually get filled. It just touches the tip of it in this area. That's why I put it there. That was actually a really good order. I didn't top tick it, but it was a really good placement of the order. I thought I was going to shoot through 12.50, maybe 10, 15 cents, 20 cents. So I just chose 12.68 or whatever it was, and I got filled. That actually might be as close to the top. In any case, the last 200 shares, I was selling as it came back down. I had a stop in at break even, and this is considered support. So I'm bad. I'm bad with these stop placements because look at that. It does that and it surges back up, And now I say this is like super, super, super bullish. There's so many people stepping in on the bid, and it's raising each time. 32, 33, 32, 35, 40, 42, 50, 53. Like, you see what I mean? And there's big size. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is we're going to consolidate in this area from like 1250 to 1270. We're going to consolidate for maybe a minute, maybe less. And then we're going to have a breakout. And for that breakout, I want to be in with bigger size for a short amount of time, kind of like this trade, because I can't afford to just take 1,000 shares right here for no reason, without any levels, and just kind of hold. Like, I know that this is going to be another very quick trade, just like bam, bam, just in and out. So I have to wait for that inflection point of where the buyers are coming in. So I'm watching. 1250 is holding. 1250, it broke. Now people are still filling. The bids are rising. The bids are getting bigger. And it's just slowly moving up. You know, there's a seller here. I'm watching to see, do people just buy? People just bought right through him. They did not care at all about that. And I see 1260. So now I'm thinking, okay, we've consolidated. We've had enough time for a little kind of flag in this area. And I think we'll have a quick jump towards $13. So I already know that I want in this, but not full size yet. So I think I take 500 shares. You'll see where I take them. You know, the 40s are holding. The 50s are holding. This is holding. So I get in there at 1240 with just 500 shares, and I'm willing to risk, you know, 20 cents. That's $100, right? So this could go all the way down to 1220, and I would have to stop out. That's my reasoning over the sizing. So we're back to 1250. 1255. As I see that momentum coming in and all of this buying come in, my plan is starting to work out. I add to 1,000 shares. It goes up to 1284. I'm lowering my order. I sell it on the bid. Sorry, I'm getting excited here. I sell it on the bid. Oh, and I'm out of water too. Sick. And I'm all out. And I think that was another 20 cents on 1,000 shares. So let's watch that again. 500 shares I get in here. I see 1250. I see the squeeze is coming. 1250. I'm waiting to add. 1255. I add. It squeezes, and I get the whole thing out. And I add. What is that there? From 168. That was actually a really, really, really good trade. 1268 to 1284. I'm trying to lock in this unrealized. Boom. 450, just like that. I hope that helps reading the level 2 and the time and sales, because I know that you guys really like videos on that, and I really like videos on that in the beginning too, when I didn't really know why people were buying, what they were seeing on here. But that's exactly what I saw, and that's why I was sizing the way I did. You know, in this trade, I took 1,000 shares, and that's a lot. And then when it came back down, and that was a very short trade. And then when it came back down for more of a swing, I took less size, 200 shares. And then again here, for the shorter trade, I took 500. And then for that quick squeeze, I bought another 500 and then sold the 1,000, the whole thing at as close to 1290 as I could, because that's the resistance. And that was that. And you can see we've already dumped back down to 1250, 1260. So my plan makes sense. You just have to be quick. You have to execute it very quickly. And I wouldn't recommend you guys trying to get into the habit of doing this, because what would have been better for a lot of people is seeing this support level, this halt level, buying less shares, and just waiting and holding for the break up here. But I was trying to extract a little bit more money through tape reading, through watching the order flow, and it worked out perfectly this time. And sometimes it doesn't work out, and I would have had to stop out for maybe $100, $150, but I was sizing appropriately. You saw that. You saw I only took 500 shares here in case I was wrong, and I gave it 20 cents worth of room. So that's that. Let's see what else we got here. So there was a lot of trades. I'm just going to try to show the useful ones. PRVB just absolutely went crazy, and there was no real pullback. So I was kind of waiting for a double bottom somewhere, and I didn't really like it here. I should have maybe taken it there. But, you know, we're at all-time highs now, and I'm just looking for a spot to get in. So I see that we double bottomed there. I think it was at 1760 or 1770. So I got in a little bit late. I used a little too much size here, and I said if it breaks the 50s, you know, I have to stop out. And it was getting really, really close to wiping out half of the profit. So my mistake here, I think, was using 500 instead of like 300 shares. So anyways, it was a pretty simple trade. I got in for the double bottom here. I was a little late to the double bottom. I think because I tried to buy on the ask, and I didn't realize the spread was like 20 cents, 25 cents. So when I bought on the ask, it was a lot higher when I thought I was using the 500 share size closer to the bottom. But in any case, that was the plan. I was just waiting for the highs to sell. Where do I actually sell here? It shoves through 1940. I see 1940 and I go, okay, good enough for me. I put 300 shares up. I get filled. And then we're at 1950. I try to get out another 100 shares. This spread is insane. So just waiting at this point, and then I stop out. And that was that. You know, I go short on PVRB. Let me just show you, because there's so many trades. PVRB. So I go short here. This was when we were right here. I go short right here for the break of 1750. I remember that. 1750. Because it was support earlier, so I thought that it would break, it would fly down, and maybe I would be covering around $16, you know, with 200, 300 shares. We're talking like another 400 bucks. So what happened here when it broke was it got bought up on huge volume. So instantly, well, not instantly, shortly after, I biased, flipped, and I went long another 500 shares, and then I just sold those at the high. I'll just show you in the video. I don't know why I'm not showing the video. Let's go. Let's go find it. It's somewhere in here. Right. So this is where I was short. You know, I was short here. It broke through. It broke through 1750, and I was waiting. I was like, all right, here comes the dump. But no, it just got bought back up. Like, there's a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of people buying. A lot of these shorts that were doing what I was doing were going, oh crap, we gotta cover. So you can see here, I'm not risking that much of the profits. So that's why I sized the way I did. So what happened here was it shot up, and as it came back down into 1850, which is this level right here, I switched. I bought 700 shares, and I was short 200. So now I'm long 500. You know, this is my setup. It busted through. It came back down. I think we're going to squeeze the shorts out towards high of day. And we did exactly that. We consolidated right here. And once we hit 19, it just, watch the ask here, 19, and then just 1943. It literally jumped 40 cents like that. And I'm up like 250 bucks. Just like that. 400 bucks actually right there. So I'm locking it in. We're at high of day. I'm starting to lock in my shares. It like squeezes through 20. This thing is like nuts. And I end up holding onto 100 shares for the halt. 100 shares for the halt. And then I add again, and I sell the whole thing up towards here, or sell most of it. And I don't want to bore you guys through every single trade, but I think that's really important. Some of the tape reading lessons in here, the tape reading lessons in here. And I'm up $1,000 today. So that's pretty sick. I lost on IFMK. That was the freak show loss here. After that, after a lot of those trades, I was just super excited. Like, where was this here on the trading chart? IMFK was right after PVRB. Yeah, all of those trades on PVRB, and right after NBY, where I had made another 185 bucks. So I was a little excited. My rules started slipping, and as we dipped here into the bottom of this candle and kind of this halt level, I just 1,000 shares, or well 500 and then 500. I just bought, and then we slammed down into a halt, and I went, oh no, like this is where we start to get a little crazy. This is where things start to turn for the worse. So right as we unhalted, you can see on the 5-second chart, I just waited for a tiny squeeze. Nothing greedy, nothing crazy. I just tried not to sell at the exact bottom. So it unhalted, and then it came up, and I got filled in the next like 10 seconds. And that was that. I was out. And from then on, what did I take after that? Just 200 shares on NBY. No. Sold 1,000 shares. Sold. I don't think I traded after that. Yeah, no. So after that, I sold. I already had a position in PVRB. It was just a 200 share kind of bounce play. And then I got stopped out of that. I got stopped out of NBY because I was holding just like another 100 shares or 200 shares of 1,000 shares up here, and that was that. And I'm proud of that, because that's discipline. That's kind of noticing when you're getting emotional and you're starting to break your rules. And I don't want to give any more back, so I didn't. Now, I'm not going to go through NBY. It was the same idea, I went through this. I stopped out here, and then I was trading it after these halts. I was just playing it off the levels, buying support, selling resistance, selling on the way up, holding a piece, and selling some more up here. And I got all of these levels from the daily. 175 from here, 150 from right here, 137 from here. So I was just playing the levels. You can see I'm not selling anywhere in the middle. I was just selling as we hit the resistance, and then we were slamming down. So I hope that wasn't too convoluted for you guys. I'm going to go buy some food. I'm going to have some nice food. That's how I reward myself on really good days. I buy some nice food. I try not to blow my money on stupid things, other than like a motorcycle. But that is not stupid. But I will not start talking about that, because I won't shut the hell up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that was helpful. Tell me if it was helpful. Tell me if you want to see more of something else, or if that wasn't enough of level 2, or if you have any questions about where I got in, or why I sized the way I sized. Whatever it is, just let me know. I had a couple other losses, but this video is long enough the way it is. So again, let me know. Awesome start to the week. We'll see you tomorrow.